Hi, my name is Naomi, and today I'll be giving a narrative speech about my transition from high school to college. My transition from high school to college was a very frustrating period in my life. Everyone, I believe, has felt that nervousness about transitioning from high school to college simply because you're entering the unknown. Now, you may have friends that have already gone to school and that will tell you different things about how college life is, but no one ever tells you about that awkward transition from high school to college. For me, I noticed that I transitioned in a lot of ways, but most of the ways that I love transitioning are the things that I did when I transitioned that were great for me was in high school, I wasn't really financially stable. I had no job, I had no source of income. I was afraid of going away to school with no job and no income. I was afraid of not having any money. So what I did is when I did get money, I had to quickly learn how to budget. So that's one way for me to transition that really helped me in the transition from high school to college. Also, I noticed that in college, you have a lot of freedom that you don't have in high school. So sometimes it's very easy for you to abuse freedom. So what I've tried to do is set a curfew for myself. The school doesn't give you a curfew, but for me, I felt that it was necessary to have a curfew because when you have a curfew, you're not out too late and you're not in too early. It's almost a perfect time for you to be in because it's like a campus is dangerous. So when you set a curfew for yourself, you know you're going to be in your dorm and everyone's going to know where you are, and it's just a safe thing to do and you haven't abused your freedom. Also, I've learned how to become more dedicated to my work. In high school, I was used to my parents telling me to make sure I did my work. I was waiting for my teachers to tell me when assignments were due and don't forget the deadlines. But in college, if you're not really dedicated, you'll soon forget when assignments are due. So it's like you really have to become dedicated to going to class, knowing the deadlines, meeting your professors, and just knowing everything about a class that you're taking. And lastly, going away to school, my transition was a little bit easier after I learned how to become more responsible. And when I say become more responsible, in high school, you have a tendency to choose fun over work. If you know you have an assignment due, but all your friends are going out on the weekend, it's almost as if you would choose going out on the weekend opposed to doing your work. But in college, you have to learn how to be responsible and you have to learn how to do your work, even when something fun is happening. Because on campus, you can really be surrounded by a lot of distractions, but you have to stay focused on doing your work. So responsibility was the last thing that I think I learned, and I'm still learning now because I'm still a student. But I think that's definitely one of the things that I learned very fast during my transition from high school to college. And I also think that everyone is so used to having people to lean on and people to go to for guidance. But part of growing up is just being pushed out of the nest early, knowing that you can fly. So those things that I did are just things that helped me out during my transition. So that's something that I want to share with everyone today about my transition from high school to college. Thank you. Bye-bye.